Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel, Wrestling with Books. This video is going up as part of our Bookmas in July celebration, where I will be posting a video every day in the month of July. And so far I have succeeded. So today, if the phone battery gods permitted, I am going to be talking about my favorite not my favorite summer reads, but like books you should add to your summer reading list. These are some really good summer reads, and a lot of these are kind of backlisted reads, which is books that did not come out recently and maybe are books you never heard of. So I'm kind of excited about it for that reason. So I took my dad is bothering me. Okay, I already made an appointment, Dad. Okay, so I went through my Goodreads. Some I knew I wanted to include, some came up as I was looking through, and so now I'm gonna talk about them. So let's go. The first one is If It Makes You Happy by Claire Kahn. And this is something I consider a summer read because of when it's taking place. It is indeed taking place in the summer. It tells the story of Winnie, who is working at her grandmother's diner, Goldine's, for the summer, and she is having a flustered romance with Dallas. She also has a relationship with her best friend, and it's all kind of boiling over the summer, as well as her pressures from her grandmother, her pressures from her grandparents. There is a lot going on here. As a matter of fact, when I initially reviewed it, I considered that actually part of the negative, like there was too much going on in it. But it really is something that would be a nice summer read, especially if you're looking for something young adult and something that, you know, takes place at a diner. Like, hello, that's fun. The next book I want to talk about is The Lighthouse Keeper's Daughter. The Lighthouse Keeper's Daughter by Hazel Gaynor. And I first read Hazel Gaynor's, she had a historical fiction about the Titanic, which I liked a lot. And this one was just as good. She has really good historical fictions. And let me just get, because I know it's a female lighthouse keeper, and I know it's the timelines, it has dual timelines going on. Grace, so Grace and her father save people from a shipwreck, and Grace, being a woman and going through these horrendous storm conditions, becomes something of a local celebrity. And a big part of Grace's story is kind of an unrequited love, or a star-crossed love, a love that she would like to happen, but it just can't, and how she deals with that, and the information about her the next generations don't find. We have somebody who is sent to the lighthouse to live with the current keeper because she has gotten pregnant. So there's that story, and then the story in the past about Grace and how they intertwine, and it's really nice. And I picked it as a summary just because all the water and stuff, like water, summer, you know, I think it would be a nice summer read. Now this one is a newer, more common read. You've probably heard about it on BookTube before, but it is Dial A For Aunties by Jessie Q. Sutanto. I forget the character's name. Okay, Madeline Chan. She has these 4 Indonesian aunties, Chinese Indonesian aunties, and they're meddling. They meddle. And is her name Madeline Chan? It's not a description, it is Madeline. Medi. That they call her Medi. I don't remember names, guys, okay? I'm sorry. I did screenshot the bio so I'd have them to figure out. But I remember the stories, and it's that Medi is the photographer, and she's part of her aunties and there's a wedding business. So she kind of, I think, wants some space from them. And she accidentally kills her blind date. So you're like, well, how can this be written in a way that's like humorous and that this is still like a rom-com? It is. You just have to trust it and read it because it's really fun. It takes place at a wedding at a resort, waterfront resort, which is a lot of fun, and there's a second chance romance. So it has those summer feels you're looking for, and despite, you know, the death, it's still feel good, but you have to read it to see how she pulls that off. The next book I am picking for my summer reading list is Kenobi by John Jackson Miller. This is considered a Star Wars Legends book, and that means it was published before Disney took over the Star Wars canon. So what you read about in this book is not what you're going to be watching in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, but that's why I put this on this list, because Kenobi has just come out. It was a lot of fun, and it will be a lot of fun for you to see what the initial take on Kenobi's time in, is it Tatooine? Is that where Luke lives? Tatooine? Tatooine. His time in Tatooine. So I think it was, this is one of my favorite Star Wars books I've read. I read both the Disney books and the Legends books, and they're all good. There's room for them all. So I think you should read this one and see what you think of it. Next up is Camino Island by John Grisham. I talk about this book fairly often because it is one of my favorites, and this tells a story about a heist to steal first edition novels. I'm talking like Fitzgerald, like heavy duty, really popular stuff. And a mysterious woman comes to see a woman named Mercer, who is a struggling author and professor. She had one book that published, never got the other one out, and she wants Mercer to go undercover to learn more about this guy Bruce, who owns the bookstore at Camino Island and who they believe is part of this scheme to get these illegal first edition books because he is a collector. So you end up meeting this awesome cast of characters of Camino Island. You start to like Bruce, you start to like Mercer, you like everybody, but also you get a lot of fun information about the first edition books. I mean, you learn how people would steal them if they had to, you know, hypothetically, I guess. And it's a lot of fun. As a book reader, you'll like this, and you're in a beach town in Florida setting, which is, of course, great for the summer. Next up, I want to talk about The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants by Anne Brochers. And this is like, you know, the original summer book for me. These I read before I was like a reader, reading all the time. I read these books and I loved them. If you haven't read them before, I think they're great to read as adults because they're feel good. It is about 4 girls, they're best friends, and they're all spending the summer apart. They're kind of coming of age, and they have this pair of pants that looks good on all of them, and so they all want to wear them this summer. So what they do is they send them to each other and throughout the summer, and they'll kind of document what's been going on with their summer as they send the pants along from one to the other. You get 4 totally different stories from 4 totally different girls, yet at the same time it makes sense that they're friends, and I guarantee you will think about some people you know in your own life as you read them. Next, I want to talk about The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen. I think any of Sarah Dessen's books would probably fit the summer vibe. She always talks really immersive of like summers in North Carolina. It's really, really nice. And she was probably my first, what people would call auto-buy authors now, but my first favorite author, where I would seek out all her books, yet kind of go slow about it because I didn't want to run out. So it's the same way how I handle ABBA's songs, you know, I don't want to run out. So this one tells the story of a girl named Macy and her boyfriend, which is a very comfortable relationship for her, is away at camp, brain camp they call it, and while he's gone she becomes close to another family through, I believe it's a catering job, and she just gets exposed to new things, new people, and a new guy who brings out, you know, a different side of Macy. But for one of, you know, sometimes you want a read that's just gonna wrap you up That's what I feel Sarah Dessen's books do, and this one is certainly included in that. Next is a book I haven't read in years, but I think about it a lot, and it is The Beach House by Mary Alice Monroe. This is a story about going back to your beach town. The lead character is Coretta, and her mother sends for her to come back, and she does. But what I remember most about this book is sea turtles. The way the turtles are in this book, oh my gosh. And like, cause I used to, in English class, when they would talk about symbolism all the time, you know, cat Holden Caulfield's hat, all these things. I'd be like, look, you're overanalyzing it. It's just a story. But this, it's like, yes, the turtles are symbols. Like, it was just, I have it on my I'm gonna be rereading it again this summer, and I hope you will as well. I'm gonna read a bit actually of the synopsis for you. Coretta Rutledge thought she'd left her southern roots and troubled family behind, but an unusual request from her mother, coming as her own life is spinning out of control, has Kara heading back to the scenic low country of her childhood summers. Before long, the rhythms of the island open her heart in wonderful ways as she repairs the family beach house, becomes a bona fide turtle lady, and renews old acquaintances long thought lost. But it is in reconnecting with her mother that she will learn life's most precious lessons. True love involves sacrifice, family is forever, and the mistakes of the past can be forgiven. I read this maybe over 10 years ago. I won it on a blog called Bermuda Onion, because I used to spend my days doing, they were called like giveaway hops on book blogs, and they all would participate. You know how we do tag videos? This was like giveaway tag videos for bloggers back then, and they would all do like a giveaway hop where you would go from one blog to another to another. You'd have a list of who's participating, and they all would be giving away a book or a book related gift card. And that's how I found that blog and how I found that book. I found a lot of books through doing giveaways in the book blog days. If anyone's was involved in the book blog days, I'm talking, let's see, it's 2022, so let's say 2012 and the surrounding years, 2010. Let me know. I'm just curious if anyone was around during those times. My favorite was The Story Siren, YA Bibliophile, and Chicklet Is Not Dead. Those are some of my favorite book blogs of the time. But those are some of my recommended summer reads for you guys, because it is Bookmas in July, so we're not just doing holiday reads. We got to sneak some summer into. If there's a summer read that I left out, let me know down below, and I will be back tomorrow with another video. There are also some popping up on the screen for you to check out. See you then.